I don't know about you guys, but when I was a youngin', the phrase, "I hate school," coming from the mouth of children was like this well-known thing. Heck, some of you guys watching this and myself still say it today. But how come a lot of people say this? Why do some people have this genuine hate of school? Why does school seem to get a lot of hate, specifically? For T-Series Episode 8, I will talk and go in depth of the reasons and why some students might hate or dislike school. So sit back, relax, and let's get started, shall we? Now, I could sit back and create reasons on why I personally dislike school, but I also don't want this video to be some biased thing either and wanted to hear some of your guys' opinions. So a few weeks ago, I went on Instagram and made a poll asking you guys if you like school, and if not, how come? Surprisingly, 67% said yes and 33% said no. Although, people who selected yes still had their groups of fair shares on the problems they have with school, and the reasons weren't much different from the people who selected no. So what I did was rounded up some common alike answers and created them into a category. For each category, I will go into more detail on my thoughts about why these participants could have written those answers, and also why I agree with those reasons. Because I also would have not picked these answers to share on this video if I didn't really understood or agreed with them. But anyways, for this video, there were overall 4 categories I devised and decided to cover. If you guys have any other reasons why you dislike school that I did not mention in this video, please share it in the comments. Otherwise, let's start with the first reason. The environment. Everyone's experience at school is different. 2 people can attend the same school. One might absolutely love the experience, but the other might think the opposite. Some people do better in a smaller, close-knit environment, while others thrive more in a room filled with 50 people. Interactions have a huge impact on the experience of school too. If a student gets bullied, their will to go to school will decrease, and therefore their experience is less enjoyable. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that everyone has a different preference on things, and there's nothing wrong with that. Pressure. Sad reality, but there are students out there who get pressured by their parents, teachers, or even peers to get A's and A+ 99% of the time. Standardized/state tests or big exams can give a student a lot of anxiety too, especially if they're not a good tester. But sometimes the pressure might not even be the school's fault. Dealing with the transition of growing up and student dramas can be a big part to pressure as well, since those kind of scenarios, deciding on what might be the best choice to do in a certain situation, can be pressuring too, especially if you don't want to disappoint anybody. Being forced to take things we'll never need to use. This was a big one. This category speaks for itself, and I'm sure most of you guys watching this understand the reasoning too. I mean, if you want to be a fashion designer, for example, when you grow up, what's the point on taking gym class? In a way, I get why the school system people want us to take these classes. It's because they want us to be well-rounded and be as prepared as possible for college. But still, I feel like as we get older, especially in high school, we should have more freedom to make a choice on picking the classes for our schedules that we'll know would benefit us in the future, instead of wasting time taking a class that will do nothing for us when we actually start working in the real world. Although I do believe learning the basics of all these subjects would be fine, but by middle school we already passed most of the basics of things, and a lot of these classes are just in our schedules and are just there for the fun of it. Social studies class is a prime example of this statement. Every year, you're basically learning the same thing with a small add-on to the lesson, and it also begins to become a second English class. And don't get me started on how English class can get repetitive too with the stories you have to read. Lack of sleep. If you know me, you'll know that I'm a night owl, which means naturally I sleep late and am a zombie if I get out of bed before 11:30 to 12. If I gotta be honest, Since summer break has started, the hours of sleep I get per week are so much healthier than the ones in school. It's not a secret that so many teens are sleep deprived, especially nowadays. Why does school start so early? I don't know. Do I personally think something will be done about this problem? Honestly, no. Scientists and health experts for years have been propping up data on how if schools start later for upper and middle classmen would be healthier and make them perform better in school, but barely any school has done anything about that, and a change on school opening times probably won't happen until a few decades pass by. By that time, all of us currently watching this will be about to graduate school anyways, or will be out of school already working in their dream job. Overall, I believe school is beneficial for us, especially when we first started, since we learn basic stuff such as how to count money and how to read. But at the same time, attending school is like a Gen Z playing an outdated/old game. Some may like it a lot, while others would appreciate a more modern or updated version better. If I gotta be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if one day everyone just transfers to online school, considering how advanced technology is getting and how we are getting more and more dependent on it. I mean, my school last year has started providing us laptops to carry around and be responsible for the whole year and use for classwork, homeworks, and even test taking. My old school provided us Chromebooks and iPads to borrow. So if school one day just becomes all online and there wouldn't be a point on physically going to school, then I wouldn't be surprised. Yet again, that probably won't happen for the next 5 to 6 decades. Also, this is a side note, but even my driver's ed teacher said something about something like this. I remember one time he mentioned how driver's ed is starting to have online classes now, and how he wouldn't be surprised that in a few years there's no longer going to be a physical class of it. So yeah, that's just some food for thought. But yeah, stay in school, kids. Even if school seems like a waste of time right now, just remember that not everything you learned in school is useless. I hope everyone enjoys this video, and I'll see you next time. Cheerio.